Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. Thank you very much for joining the Career Transitioners webinar. It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you. I hope you are too. Just to give you a brief rundown of what tonight is going to look like, feel like, sound like. We're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to speak about the job market in the UK. We're going to talk about our unique challenges as mid-career professionals. We're going to talk about bridging our skills gaps. And then we're going to go into talking about the CV, our online presence, the job market. We'll talk about the interview as well. And I'll talk about some of the bonuses I've got in store for you for attending this session. It's going to be quite intensive in terms of the content that we're going to go through. So I'd like you to relax, have yourself a cup of coffee, get yourself a notepad, and yeah, just enjoy the show. So first things first, I only have a couple of rules for you guys. I've only got a couple of rules for you guys. I'd like you to get yourself a notepad and a pen. That's one rule because I'm going to be sharing a lot of content and I wouldn't want you to miss out. The second thing is have fun. Let's make it interactive. I'm going to ask you guys a few questions and just answer by typing into the chat box that you've got on your webinar dialog box. Is everybody okay with that? Just to check that everybody can hear me, can you type into your dialog box, yes, let's rock, Tolu. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. Firstly, I want to wish you a very, very successful career progression in 2016. I know you are already thinking about how you're going to progress during the year 2016. You probably have a few goals set for yourself. You probably have a few ideas on how you're going to move from where you are right now within your career to where you want to be by the end of next year. And I'm hoping that this session will help you get some clarity around your career goals. So good luck in your career within 2016, and I really wish you all the success in the world. Firstly, I just want to talk to you a little bit about who we are and why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing. We're career transitioners, and we are a community of like-minded career professionals who are passionate about bridging our skills gaps and developing our careers. We're a team of professionals from spanning training and development and organizational psychology and coaching, and we really want to have a community where we can help like-minded professionals like yourselves bridge your skills gap and really accelerate your careers over the next few years whilst you're still a mid-career professional. Who are mid-career professionals? I'll say mid-career professionals are people between the ages of 25 and 45 years old looking to be in one of three categories: either get promoted within their roles right now, get a new job, or change careers altogether. And those are our target audience. Those are the people that we really want to talk about. And I'm pretty sure if you're here, you are a mid-career professional. Firstly, a few testimonials. We have CJ, who was looking for his ideal career and for a few years, for a few months actually. And after working with us for a couple of months, he was able to get the job that he wanted within 2 months. He went through a coaching program that helped him focus on his personal values, and he got all the support that he needed when he was going through his career transition. We also have an amazing young woman, Dube, who worked with us for a few weeks, and within that time was able to get a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge that helped her through her interviews, that helped her get the jobs that she wanted. She actually got 3 job interviews within a space of 3 weeks of working with us. Those are the kind of success stories that we have, and I'm pretty sure yours will be one of our success stories again pretty soon. Firstly, let's talk about Tolu. Who is this guy that's talking to you? My name is Tolu. I'm the lead coach at Career Transitioners. I'm a loving husband and father. The last time I said loving father, my wife had something to say about that. I'm a loving husband and father. I'm a great trainer, and I'm an amazing coach. And I'm just not just blowing my own trumpet. A lot of people have said that to me, and I'm pretty sure you will find that out yourself at some point of working with us. What gives us, or what gives me personally, the credibility to be able to talk about careers to you, you might ask? Well, I have an MSc in organizational psychology, recently graduated. I have an MA in communications management. I'm a trainer of business analysis diploma courses. I go through a number of BCS, British Computer Society certification courses, and that gave me, or that gives me on a day-to-day basis, the opportunity to speak to a lot of mid-career professionals who are looking to either get a new job or get promoted or change their careers. So I meet a lot of mid-career professionals on a day-to-day basis by virtue of what I do on a day-to-day basis, which is training and coaching. I also train Scrum Master certifications. I'm a Prince 2 certified practitioner. I'm a practitioner and master practitioner of philosophy called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So all of those skills gives me what I believe is a unique blend of skills that makes me an authority in career change and career progression. And I believe working with us at Career Transitioners will be an amazing journey for you, as it has been for the people that have worked with us. Let me talk to you a little bit about my story. I started my career as a trainer a few years ago, more than 10 years ago now, and I was very clear about what I wanted to do. I got involved in training and development. I learned a lot about e-learning, and I got brave at some point. I decided to go to Nigeria to go help implement some learning management systems for some banks out there. It was an amazing journey, and I was able to have a lot of experience in dealing with senior stakeholders in the field of training and development. When I came back to London, I was shocked. Before that, I'd never gone 2 weeks without a job. I came back to London and I found myself looking for a job for almost 4 weeks. I realized very quickly that I needed to do something. I was already getting broke. So I went to the job center, did what we do, signed on, and decided to tap into the career service that they had at the job center. But to my amazement and to my shock, I was being told by the career advisors at the job center to go for call center jobs and entry-level jobs. And I felt to myself, why would they ask me to do this? I mean, I was looking for managerial jobs. I already had a career in training and development. Why would I have to take a step back? And that really got me not so much as upset, but really curious about the state of our career service and how mid-career professionals have very little support when we are looking to get back into work and looking to change careers. I wonder if does anybody here have any such experiences? Have you come across any situations like that before, just type into your text box if you hear me, if you know what I'm talking about. Well, that was certainly a bit of a shock for me. And I was lucky after a number of sessions with a career coach and getting my CV in order and uh, going for a number of job interviews. I was able to get back into my career and build my career from that point on. And the UK job market has really, really changed over the years. Recently, we have a situation where there are 12,350 jobs which have gone unfilled in London alone due to a skills shortage. That's statistics that sounds quite scary. So in 2007, when I was looking for a job as a trainer, I couldn't find any jobs. There's a massive recession, and all of a sudden we are out of the recession. And in 2015, we've got 12,350 jobs in London that are not being filled simply because we don't have the right skills, or employers aren't getting the right skills to fill these jobs. Another stat that might be shocking to you. Um, in 2015, according to the London Chamber of Commerce, 58% of recruiting firms have difficulties hiring skilled or technical staff due to a skills shortage. Again, another scary stat that makes me ask the question, what is it that's creating the skills shortage, and how come we're not able to get the right skills for the right job? Another stat here that I think is quite important is that after the recession, we are back to pre-recession levels where we have more jobs being created since 2009. In fact, there's been a rise of 45% since 2009. A lot more jobs, a lot more vacancies, but we are still struggling to get jobs as mid-career professionals. Well, it's really about skills shortage. Haven't you noticed this? The recurring theme here seems to be about skills shortage. Uh, what is considered skills shortage? According to the BBC in December 2014, the skills shortage in the UK is holding back the UK's economic recovery. That's on the BBC News, which is quite telling. Another report about the skills shortage in the UK. According to the Mail Online, Britain was hit by the worst skills shortage for 30 years. The worst skills shortage for 30 years. Another a theme here. Harvard Business Review in August last year. Employers aren't just whining. The skills gap is real, which then begs the question, what is this skills gap we're talking about? Firstly, what are skills? According to Wikipedia, a skill is the learned ability to carry out a task with predetermined results, often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. In other words, the abilities that one possesses to do something well. Well, it kind of makes it difficult to measure, doesn't it? It's not tacit. It's not explicit. It's quite tacit. It's difficult to pin your hand on skills. I found that skills is really to do with the recent upsurge in the information age and a requirement to do a lot of things at lightning pace, and employers are struggling to get people with the right set of both hard and soft skills to fill this need. Well, and you very sure that you know that skills are certainly not your degrees, because by the time you are done with your degree, the job space or the career landscape is already shifted. So the issue of skills is a real one. the question then becomes, how do we bridge our skills gaps? So, can anybody tell me in the chat box, what sort of ideas do you think we have right now in the UK to bridge skills gaps? Just type into your text box any idea that you think we can use to bridge the skills gaps. So specific short courses, yep, that's really good. A number of mentoring programs, well, that's also really good. Thank you very much for your input, guys. Absolutely, there are a number of things we can do. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a landscape about the career advice services in the UK right now. So, in November last year, there was in November this year, last month, precisely on the 19th to 21st, there was a skills show, which was the largest skills event in the UK. Guess who this event was geared towards? Just type in the text box. Guess who this massive careers skills show was geared towards? Yep, you guessed that right. It was geared towards young people, 18 to 24-year-olds and fresh school leavers. The National Career Service is probably the go-to place for careers advice for anyone in the UK. And most of the interventions and initiatives they've got also geared towards young people and graduates. But then you've got the issue of training and development, like CJ said earlier. Well, training and development is definitely a good way to bridge the skills gaps. You can have a number of short courses, number of online courses, number of certification courses, and they're definitely great to help us bridge the skills gaps. But remember, this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. Every single day, I find myself speaking to people who are doing a course because someone told them it was a good course to do, without knowing whether the course was right for them or not. So the question then becomes, how do you know which course you're supposed to be taking? How do you know what course to invest in? How do you know if it's the right one for you? Most of the time, the training organizations just want to get paid, take your money, and give you the course and move on to the next one. So being able to ensure that you're doing the right thing as well is pretty important. For mid-career professionals, it is twice as hard because we don't have a lot of options. Most of the time, we are left to find to tap into the initiatives within the HR department in the organization we work for. Some organizations are good and they're able to have a nice, good, solid career progression or succession plan for their staff. Sometimes not so. Career coaching is a good way to help ensure you do the right thing and get to the place that you want to get to within your career. But it means that you're going to have to pay for your own course by yourself. Now, as a mid-career professional, you've got a number of challenges, don't you? Now, the question is, what are some of the challenges you think will face challenges? And somebody says not much support from HR. Absolutely. HR really just want to fill their own quota and they don't know you well enough. So absolutely, you are not able to get the best out of your own HR department. So the question then becomes, what are the challenges that face you in your career transition? Like you guys said, just type into your chat box, what are the challenges that the biggest challenges that face you in your career transition? Yeah, money. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest one. Time. Yes. Yeah. Kids. Oh yeah, that's one of the biggest ones as well. Absolutely. And that seems to be the recurring theme in my research. I told you guys that I have an MSc in organizational psychology, and one of the my final dissertation was really on the challenges that mid-career professionals face. And one of the biggest themes seems to be really broken down into three key areas. One is the time to attend training, the time to upskill yourselves, the time to get the work experience you need, the time to go shadow somebody who's doing the work you want to do, the time to intern at an organization you want to work for. All of those things have a massive part to play when it comes to the challenges we face as career transitioners. Also, the money. Well, not that we don't have the money most of the time, we generally do, but it's always about the prioritization. It's always about the prioritization. So, probably you have a mortgage, uh, you probably have dependents. Can you guys hear me? I seem to have lost some audio. Just type in the chat box if you can hear me. Let me know if my audio is back. Hello, hello. Say yes if you can hear me. Hello. Say yes if you can hear me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Say yes if you can. Can't hear. Okay. How about now? Yes, you can hear. Perfect. Thank you so much. I think I lost you guys for a second there. Okay. Where were we? We were talking about the biggest challenges that face us as career transitioners, and we were talking about the concept of money. And I was saying it's not that we don't have the money per se, it's usually about the priorities. Most of the time, you probably have a mortgage, family, maybe you've got kids, maybe you've got elderly parents, perhaps you got dependents, and all of these will always seem to take precedence over what we need in terms of the investment we need to make when we are transitioning within our careers. And another one that was a recurring theme was the concept of confidence. This is usually where we feel that our skills are outdated, or we are not so sure if we've got the right skills for the job. We perhaps have been doing something for so long and we're not so sure how we can word the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. So confidence seems to be a big theme when it comes to the issues that face us when we're transitioning within our careers. Then the question now becomes, how do we bridge our skills gaps? How do we bridge our skills gaps so that we can get the skills that we need for the job that we want? I was looking up the definition of skills gaps based on all of the research that I've done. One of the recurring themes seems to be that the gap between your own skills right now and the skills that an employer is looking for. So there are two variables to look out for there. Your skills, a good self-reflection of where you're at in terms of your own chosen career path, your own skills right now. And the second variable to work out is the skills that the employer is looking for. A lot of the time, the only reference we have for the skills they're looking for is when we have a look at the job description or the job specification. And most of the time, it doesn't tell us enough about what the skills are that the employer requires. So there are a number of things to do to ensure that we are able to bridge our skills gap effectively. Firstly, training is a big deal. Training to be able to upskill yourself, ensure you have the right core skills and soft skills, or hard skills and soft skills to do the job that the employer needs done. Another option is to go for a number of coaching sessions, maybe career coaching or life coaching, to help you take actionable steps to get to where you want to get to. Another option for bridging a skills gap will be mentoring, finding someone who's already treaded the path that you want to tread, and working with them and letting them give you day-to-day feedback, and you can grow within your career. Another option is shadowing, being able to look for someone who does the job on a day-to-day basis and watch them do it. That way you put yourself in their shoes and you're able to better understand what they do. You can elicit a lot of tacit knowledge by shadowing someone who's doing the job already. Another option is networking, being able to go out and hone your social skills, because at the end of the day, people hire people they like. So if you can build your networking skills up, you're able to ensure you get the personable or social skills required to get your job. But I'll definitely work my way down from the list, which is training, then coaching, then mentoring, then shadowing, and definitely networking. All of those variables are important to ensure that you get to bridge the skills gaps. So now what? The question then becomes, now what? We know that we need to bridge our skills gaps. We know that we need to upskill ourselves. We know that we need to build our confidence. We know that it's not cheap. So what do we do now? So first things first, you want to identify the job that you want to move into, whether it's a promotion, you want to get promoted, or a new job altogether, or a new career altogether. Either way, identify what it is. Find out how much it pays, because as we mentioned, one of the biggest challenges is the idea of money. We know that we find it very difficult to take a pay cut as mid-career professionals. We probably can't afford to. So you want to be very clear with regards to the amount that this new career will pay for starters. So if you're moving into a new career, do you need to take a pay cut? Is the entry pay enough? You also want to know what industry it is in. Do you already have experience in that industry, or is it a brand new industry altogether? Because it plays a massive part in your skills gaps plan. Also, where is it located? Is it somewhere you've got to travel to? Can you do it remotely? And you want to ask yourself some personal questions. You want to be self-reflective and ask yourself why you want this new job. Is it because you saw somebody's paycheck and it looked good, or it looks glamorous from the outside, or you see that it seems like there's some flexible work in there? Why do you want this new job? Is it in line with your personal values? I mean, I started off my education studying law, and 2 years into my law degree, I realized it wasn't in line with my personal values. I dropped out, traveled around, and sought what I really desired. So you want to make it, you want to really identify uh, this new role. You want to know whether it's in line with your personal values or not as early as possible before you go halfway through or spend a lot of money in a role that you might not even want. So you want to identify the new job. You also want to identify the skills required for the new job. I like to break skills down into two types of skills. Firstly, what are the hard technical skills required for this new job? Do you need to know how to write SQL queries? Do you need to know how to write code? What are the hard technical skills required? Maybe you're already in IT and you need to know how to write code in a special kind of language. Maybe it's Java or whatever it is. You want to know what the technical skills are that's required. Also, very, very importantly, and in my opinion, almost 80% of the skills required tend to be soft or tacit skills. You want to know what the soft skills are that's required for this new job. Because let's be frank, you might have all the core skills necessary. It doesn't mean you would always be the one to get the job. A lot of the time, it's the person with the best soft skills that gets the role. So what are the soft skills required for this job? Is it negotiating skills? Is it sales skills? Is it assertiveness? What is it that's required for this particular role you want to get into? So identify the new job, identify the skills required for the new job, both the tacit, soft, and the hard skills. Not only do you want to look at typical job descriptions for that new job, you want to speak to people who already do that new job. Find out what sort of skills they have that makes them excel in their role. And you want to identify your own personal skills as well, your current personal skills, and you want to be honest with yourself. You want to ask your friends, ask colleagues, what sort of skills do they think you have? You want to look at your personality. You want to understand what your core personality is. Not only do you want to understand personality from your colleagues or your friends' point of view, you want to understand personality from the professional's point of view. A lot of organizations will use psychometrics to decide who they want to call or who they want to hire. You want to see what the hiring manager sees. We have a number of personality items that we can use to help you identify what your personality is from the point of view of the HR manager. Uh, you want to know what your cognitive ability is because apparently one of the biggest predictors of job success is cognitive ability. You want to know what you're good at. Are you good with, you know, aptitude, verbal aptitude, or quantitative aptitude? Are you good with numbers? Are you good with words? You want to be clear and you want to be able to be self-reflective about it as well. You want to know what your transferable job skills are, especially if you're transferring or transitioning into a new career. What are the skills that you have right now that you can use in the new job? You want to have a good, clear idea of your direct work experience. What are the skills that you have right now, that you're currently doing right now, that you're going to need in this new job? You want to make it very clear. So identify your current personal skills and then create a plan. Create a skills gap plan, a bridging the gap plan. We like to call it bridging the gap plan at Career Transitioners. Uh, we use a model called the Career Transitioners Bridging the Gap plan. We've adapted this model from the coach model that's developed by John Cassidor-Rise at NLP Excellence. Giving all credit to John for an amazing work that he's been doing. Coach simply stands for clarity, options, actions, character, and help. We use this model to help our career transitions, the mid-career professionals, bridge that gap. So, clarity. We really want to get clear on the goal. You want to be very specific with what your short-term and long-term goals are. On our group coaching program, we spend a lot of time looking at clarity. We help you align your values with what you want. There's a concept called cognitive dissonance, where sometimes you might say one thing but mean something else. So when we go through this values elicitation and clarity session, you're able to get real good clarity of your goal. The purpose is to ensure that what you do is who you are. What you do is who you are. You don't want to move into a new career just because somebody gets a great paycheck and you think it'll be cool, and then you don't know whether you've got the affinity or the skills or the preference for it in any way. So we want to make sure you're clear on your goal. And then you want to get some options. This is where it gets really interesting. So you might want to identify a number of options for change, which would include training courses that you're going to get, getting a coach, shadowing. I talked about shadowing earlier. Being able to elicit a number of tacit information or tacit knowledge is really, really essential. I really recommend shadowing, especially if you're currently in a job and you want to get a new job, or you want to get a new career, or you want to get promoted. I say spend some time with someone who's already doing something you want to do. Really recommend it. During the group coaching session, we'll use what we call the fishbone diagram to identify and analyze some of your options. The fishbone technique is really what we call root cause analysis. We'll really drill deep into all the possible options that might be right for you. And then we shortlist those options, and we use the 80-20 rule to help you make the right plan. These options can be from training to coaching to mentoring to shadowing to anything that will help you get from where you are to where you want to be. So upskilling, of course, it's all about training. The question then becomes, what training should I do? Like I said earlier, I meet a number of people on a day-to-day basis who spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's the right course is, or whether they are on the right course. Should you be doing a classroom session? Should you be doing an online course? Depending on your personality type and your preference, a classroom course might not be the right one for you, especially for some of the skills that you need to acquire. Should you be doing an accredited course or a non-accredited course? Sometimes I speak to business analysts, for example, who want to get a job as a business analyst, and they think being able to go through the certification is a prerequisite. And I say, well, not necessarily. You might want to, get some skills, get into the job, and then get qualified. So that might be a way to move from being a junior business analyst into being a senior business analyst. That's just an example of being able to identify a plan to help you bridge that skills gap. Now, online courses are a great way to upskill. And based on our biggest challenges as mid-career professionals, which is time, money, and confidence, one of those big challenges being money is always a determining factor. So I always tell my clients, look for free alternative ways to learn online. We are in the age of the millennials. Information is at your fingertips. You want to make as much use of those pearls and gems as you can. There's some great online sites that I use and I definitely recommend. There are more, but these are just a handful of sites that I recommend you to go for. Allison.com is great. They have a number of courses that you can do for free. There's some that you've got to pay for. Udemy is also amazing. A number of free courses, quite a lot of paid ones, but they're really, really cheap. Sometimes they do a deal where you get a bundle for like £8 or something ridiculous like that, or they have a sale where you get a course for £1 or something like that. But constantly go, it keeps getting updated almost every day, so there's lots to learn. Future Learn is an interesting one. This is more for the younger mid-career professionals. Future Learn, and Learn Online is more for the techies, I will say. A lot of IT courses on Learn Online, a lot of data modeling courses as well. So quite a lot of paid ones, but a few free ones as well. MIT OpenCourseWare, I've known MIT for almost 10 years now. My early days of e-learning, this was my go-to platform. MIT OpenCourseWare, a number of their MIT, that's Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they have a lot of their classroom courses online. So you can actually learn what you would learn at the university online, except you don't get a certificate, but at least you get the learning. Khan Academy is another good one. They have quite a lot of courses that are sort of professional courses. They're like academic courses, like university courses. Some are free, some are not. Coursera, recently discovered Coursera. They're good, so I definitely recommend them. There are quite a lot of free courses. I was looking at the data science course on Coursera earlier in the week, and it's pretty good, pretty good. So these are just a few alternative ways to learn online. And during the group coaching session, we'll look at ways to get the time you need to do your learning and to do your upskilling. But once you have a accountability partner and you have a plan to work towards, you can get yourself into a rhythm and it becomes a habit and you're able to get there much quicker. So I definitely recommend those sites, and you can always email me for more if you need more. The next step is action. We've identified a number of options, a number of things that you've got to do now. The next step is to take action. During the group coaching session, we set clear, specific, measurable, achievable, very, very importantly, budgeted and time-bound actions that are critical to your success. And I add the concept of budgeted there because as mid-career professionals, money is a big deal for us. So we don't want to be spending £500 a month on training when we can do so much more with it. We can build that house in India. So budgeted and time-bound is definitely a key one. First, before I move any further, can you just type in your chat box if you've got any questions so far, especially around the options session with regards to training, online or free training? Do you have any questions for me before I move any further? So just type into your chat box. Thanks for joining us, Femi. I can see you've turned up. Just type into your chat box if you've got any questions with regards to free courses online or options. Okay, somebody is asking, are there places that we can get free training in person outside of the UK? Well, where in particular are you asking about outside of the UK? Okay, why don't you send me an email after this session and we can discuss the region that you're talking about. America, yeah, depending on the state. I know a bit about North Carolina, a bit about DC, but not every state. So we can definitely talk about that after this. Okay, action. You want to take clear, specific, measurable, achievable, and budgeted time-bound action. Sometimes it's not about what you do or don't do, but about your mindset. What are you thinking? Are you focusing on the lack of the job that you want, or are you focusing on the presence of the job that you want? So being able to have a different mindset is very, very key. And you want to make sure the actions that you set are helping you, aiding you to success and not hindering you from it. And then we look at character. We delve deeper into character because this is where we uncover a lot of things that stop us from actually taking the action that we've set ourselves. So you've got an actionable plan, and now it's about what's stopping you. So we uncover and peel back the onions here, and we'll try to make sure you really truly find out and remove all the potential obstacles in your way so you can take action as you plan. So character, and then help and support. Help and support is all about all the help that you may require to take action. Is it, family support you might need? Is it time you might need? Is it books you might need? Is it, what do you need to get you taking action? So help and support. All right. So that's the career transitioners bridging the gap plan. So we go through a number of those concepts within the group coaching, and we get you ready to take the plunge, ready to start job searching. So this is the fun part for some of you, but this is not the fun part for most of you. Most of you find job searching terrifying. Can I have, by show of hands or writing in the chat box, who finds job searching terrifying? Who finds job searching terrifying, and who finds job searching fun? Yeah, actually, you might laugh, but I've met someone recently who felt job searching was so much fun that when she got a job, she got scared. And I wondered why. And she said, well, going for the interviews and preparing for the interviews was a lot of fun. I didn't have it in pressure. I loved it. And then I got 3 offers and I couldn't choose. And I was afraid of what's going to happen when I start the new job. So for some people, it's fun. For some, it's not. So there are a few basics we've got to get cleared. We can't talk about career transition without talking about job searching. And really, the landscape is going to shift in 2016. We've gone through a good couple of years of resurgence of jobs, and with the social media explosion at the moment, it's really taking it in a different direction. So what should you really be focusing on when searching for jobs in 2016? Well, for one, the CV. Yes, I know, the good old CV. Not my favorite subject to talk about because it is one of the most divisive concepts when it comes to career transition. That CV, what does it really stand for? Most of the time, I find that people spend a lot of money and a lot of time on rewriting their CVs. They might even hire a professional or a so-called professional to write their CV. What I found is a lot of people pay for simply reformatting. Somebody to reformat the CV and make it look good. Well, that's all well and good, but if it doesn't tell your story, what good does it do? Your CV should really represent you. It's like an iceberg. It really shows a little bit, a synopsis, a snapshot of who you really are. It shouldn't be different from who you are, and it shouldn't tell a totally different story. It should be a snapshot of who you are. But then the question then becomes, what should your CV really look like? A lot of people don't know this, but there are different types of CVs out there. We've got the performance CV, we've got the functional CV, we've got the targeted CV, and career professionals know this, but a lot of job seekers don't know this. And the most popular type of CV out in the job market today is actually the performance CV. The performance CV is great. when it comes to looking for a new job. So you're in a career, you're stable in your career, and you want a new job with the same job title. Well, you've got experience. That's why you're a mid-career professional. It's great for you to use a performance CV. It's a simple one that has your details at the top. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of having this is just an example, a snapshot of a performance CV, what you will find in the job market today, mostly. I'm not a big fan of having your address there. An email address is good. City, okay. But, having your address, I'm not so sure. Then your profile, a little synopsis of who you are and what you're trying to get. I'm a big fan of having some key achievements within your performance CV. It tells the recruiting person or recruiting manager what some of your key achievements have been. And if you make it measurable and specific and clear, it really tells them a story about your commercial awareness, commercial acumen. So achievements are good. And then your experience. This is where you talk about the role that you had and the organization you work for and the years you worked there. Giving a detailed breakdown of what you did. That's perfect for a performance CV. If you are just looking to get a new job, this format is great. And if you can make it tell your story, then you'll be fine. But what if you're getting a new career, you're changing careers, or you're, trying to get a promotion and you've not really been doing that job before? How does this really help you? This is focused on the experience, right? But that's not what you want to sell to the prospective employer if you're going to a new career or a new job title, promotion. What you want to be using is the functional CV. Subtle difference here is the functional CV focuses on skills, focuses on what you can do. Notice how some of the key skills for the job this person wants is highlighted, and some of the things that they've done that displays this skill also identified. So the focus is not on the experience, it's on the skills. And then you can talk about your career summary. No detail about what you did in each job, but more about the fact that you worked at a certain place for a certain period of time. And then you can talk about the skills that you've acquired in terms of training and qualification. So that really tells more of a better story when you're looking for a new career or looking to get promoted, because you can display the skills that you've got. So if we've done a number of upskilling over the last few, however long your BGT plan takes, then you can identify the skills you need and the skills you want to be putting on your CV. So that's the CV. The question is, does your CV tell your story? So I'd like you guys to pop in the chat box right now and tell me if your CV tells your story, or will you need to amend or change your CV? If you just pop in the chat box right now if your CV tells your story or if you need to amend your CV. Yep, I thought so. So quite a few of you are saying that you definitely need to change your CV or to amend it. Well, we'll definitely be looking at that in the group coaching session. But of course, for you guys that are here today, you get a freebie. You get a bonus. You have to wait for it to the end so that I can tell you what the bonus is. So that's the CV. Does your CV tell your story? Then the other divisive concept when it comes to job searching in 2016 is your online presence. Does your online presence say anything about you? If I Google your name right now, what will I find? Did you know that 85% of hiring managers use social media to vet candidates before making a job offer? That's a fact, verifiable fact. Most people will use social media. The social media of choice, of course, is LinkedIn. So the question is, do you have a LinkedIn page that tells your story? But this is more about before making a job offer, you've gone through the interview, you've gone through the shortlisting. Before they decide they're going to hire you, they kind of want to know who you are. They will go through your Facebook page and they will look at all the pictures of you having fun with your friends. Does it tell a story about who you are? So you got to be aware of that. Uh, Also, 35% of employers are less likely to hire people they can't find online. I hear this a lot. Some people say, "Nope, I don't have a social media. Uh, I don't have a online footprint because I don't want them to be able to find me." Well, you've just reduced your chances by 35% because 35% of employers are less likely to hire people they can't find online. So you want to be findable. So you want to put something out there that tells them who you are. Even if you have a very, very common name, you can find a way to make yourself stand out from the crowd. You can have a name like Rachel Taylor. If you type in Rachel Taylor, you'll find thousands of people called Rachel Taylor. But you want to be able to have a presence that says you're the Rachel Taylor in nursing in London, and they can see what you've written or what your page is. So you want to be online. Does your online presence help your career transition? Does your online presence help your career transition? That's a question you've got to ask yourself. I'm not going to ask you to tell me if your online presence helps your career transition. But you ask yourself, does your online presence help you transition? Do you have a LinkedIn page that's optimized to help you get that next role? Are you present online? Are you writing anything in your field? Are you an authority in your chosen career path? Are you saying anything or are you invisible? I guarantee you, if you're competing with someone who is present online, they are much likely going to get the job before you. So you want to be present online. So online presence, very, very key. So let's talk about job search strategies in 2016. A lot of people go through the traditional ways of looking for jobs. Well, that traditional way of going online and typing in accounting in London and going to Monster jobs or Fish for jobs or even the typical regular agencies uh, that publicize jobs in your career area or in your industry. You want to move away or change your job search strategy. The old way is what it is. It's an old way. You want to flip it round. Flip it round. You want to look for new contemporary ways to look for jobs because the landscape has shifted. You want to use LinkedIn. You want to network more. You want to go directly to the organization you want to work for. You want to become an expert in your field by writing articles and publishing them on LinkedIn and online. And you want to be visible. Contemporary ways for looking for jobs are the things you want to be looking at. Ultimately, you don't want to be looking for a job. You want to be solving a business problem. Most people look for jobs. However, employers aren't looking to hire people looking for jobs. Employers are looking to solve a problem. Do you have the solution to their problem? You have to start thinking like an entrepreneur. You have to start thinking like somebody who's going to solve a business problem. You want to have a plan. You want to be strategic in your approach. You want to create a job search plan that means that you will be spending a good amount of time searching for jobs. We will tailor your job search plan to suit your lifestyle. We will help you work to a plan that works best for you. Ultimately, you want to tap into the hidden job market. That's where it's at. That's what it's all about. Did you know that 80% of jobs are not advertised? Yep, apparently verifiable fact. 80% of jobs are not advertised. Advertising jobs is the absolute last resort for most hiring managers. And when they do get advertised, you are only 91% likely to get a response. Have you noticed that when you apply for a job online, based on the posts that you saw, the chances of getting a response back 0 to nil most of the time. You might get lucky and get a response back. With regards to that job you applied for, most of the time you get a response back with regards to another job that you didn't apply for. What happened? Well, I can tell you this for a fact. Most recruiting agencies who post jobs online don't have a direct relationship with the recruiting organization. What they do is they copy and paste the existing jobs and then they use it to get your data for the jobs that they've got direct access to. And then they call you about the jobs they've got access to. So the chances of getting a job based on a job posting, very, very slim. The ones that are available, you're competing with, 95% of job searches online because everybody's going for the same job. The problem happens to be that employers are hiring in the opposite way to the way people are looking for jobs. So if you look at this picture online that I've got on the screen, employers are starting by going internal, promoting the jobs internally, and then getting people who already work there to introduce someone. Most of the time you go for an interview, the job is already gone. The interview process is a formality. And then word of mouth through networking, and then through professional organizations before they go to a recruitment agency. And the absolute last resort is the job adverts that you see on Monster.com. But what do most people do? They start from posting jobs, looking for job postings online, and then they work their way down, and they make the internal promotion the last resort. Well, you've got to flip the script and spin it upside down and start to work smart. We'll talk a lot more about the hidden job market if you decide to come on the group coaching, where we have industry-specific lists of potential recruiters and the live jobs that they've got available. So hidden job market is a real thing. It's not a fad, and that's the way organizations are recruiting right now. You want to tailor your job search strategy to suit. Well, of course, we're going to talk about the interview. The interview is one of the most challenging aspects of career transition. A lot of our clients, well, the research that we did earlier, that I talked about earlier, suggested that most of the challenges career transitioners face comes down to confidence. And confidence, interview kind of go hand in hand. So we go through preparing for the interview, identifying the right interview approach. You want to be able to understand what the hiring manager is looking for. Before you go for an interview, you want to be doing your research. If you do your research, you know who's going to be interviewing you. You want to ask the recruiting manager, or you want to ask the agency, if you're going through an agency, to tell you exactly who it is that's going to be interviewing you. Get as much as you can on them. They're going to do a search on you. Well, you better be doing your search on them. And I tell you this because I do this, and I know people who do this on a day-to-day basis. If you know who's going to be interviewing you, do your search on them. Do know as much as they know about you. And of course, you want to practice interview questions. There are a number of interview techniques that you can use to get the edge when you're going through interviews. You want to practice interview questions using STAR technique, for example. But we use STAR in a really fun, cool way that makes it not so daunting or scripted. So traditionally, you're told to set the scene by talking about the situation and then identify the tasks that you were required to perform. And then what did you do? So you go from a we focus to an I focus. And ultimately, the clincher is the result. What were the results you achieved? So being able to structure your interview answers in a nice, neat way is always, always very key. But we go further. We try to help you build confidence and take charge of your interview. Understand the subtle cues that gives you the edge. Subtle little things like being able to move the chair, being able to ask specific types of questions, the way you should shake the hand of the interviewer, the way you take control of your interview. You want to be able to build rapport uh, when you're within an interview setting. And of course, people hire people they like, so you want to be friendly, you want to be calm, you want to be assertive, you want to be likable, you want to exude confidence ultimately. So these are the things that we're able to go through that can guarantee you absolute success in any kind of interview you find yourself in. So we talked about the CV, talked about the hidden job market, we talked about job search strategies, we talked about interviews. Well, recently I did some research uh, with Birbeck as part of my MSc in organizational psychology and found 7 habits of highly successful transitioners. Number 1, every successful transitioner that we surveyed planned their career transition. The ones that went so successful wasn't surprising, wasn't a lot of planning that happened. They sort of fell into the careers that they were in. The ones that were successful were deliberate about the career that they found themselves in. So they planned their career transition. 2, you've got to consider family commitments in current situation. Well, as mid-career professionals, we are always in a situation where we're juggling a number of things. We need that headspace to be able to make key decisions, and we always would have family commitments, and current situation is always a big deal. So you want to consider, make sure your decisions are ecological. You don't want to abandon your family to go do a PhD that's going to take you 5 years on minimum wage with a mortgage, and you leave all the burden to your partner. So you want to consider your family commitment to help you make a successful transition. 3, you want to consider your passion, skills, and personality, the PSP I call it. Your passion, your skills, and your personality. I'm not a big fan of the trait theory of personality. I believe more in a situational theory of personality. I believe you're able to do whatever you want to do depending on the situation. But the question then becomes, what do you feel comfortable doing? You want to consider your skills, the skills you have right now and the skills you want to get. You want to consider what you love to do. Always start where your passion lies. If you're able to combine those 3 into your chosen career, you're very likely to successfully transition. 4, you want to leverage your social capital and work with like-minded people. Leveraging your social capital is all about being able to tap into your current social network and make connections. You want to know who's in your network and what they bring to the table. You are really the sum total, the sum average rather, of your social network. So look at the people around you. Leverage what you've got there to get yourself to the next level, and work collaboratively with like-minded people. If you find yourself in with low social capital, i.e. you don't have a lot of people around you that can help you get to the next level, then you might want to be moving into a different social demographic. So leverage your social capital and work collaboratively with like-minded people, which is why we always advocate joining a mid-career professionals community that can help us progress. Number 5, brand yourself as an expert in your career. Even if you are a secretary, you can be the best goddamn secretary in the city. Let everyone around you know that you are an exceptional secretary, and brand yourself as an expert in your own career. Even if you're just starting out, you can do things like interview people in that area, publish those interviews. You can do that so easily online on LinkedIn, for example. One of my recent students did something very similar. She came in for a business analysis professional certification, looking to get into business analysis. And what she did was she went out, she interviewed me, she interviewed a number of people who are doing the job at the moment. She transcribed the interview, posted it on LinkedIn, and she's branding herself as an expert, even though she's never done a day of business analysis in her life. And guess what? She's got so many offers now, she doesn't even know what to do. So brand yourself as an expert in your own career. 6, change the way you look at your career, and the way you look at your career changes. Now, that's really an amazing, profound statement if you think about it. Are you looking at your career in a depleted state, or are you looking at it in a full state? Is it a buoyant career, or is it a depleted career? Change the way you look at your career, and the way your career looks changes. So start from where you are, see the positive aspects of your career, and then you can start to build on that. And finally, you want to continually learn and grow. Well, that's gotta be a habit of every successful person, let alone transitioner. Continually learn and grow. So, how have you found this session so far? How have you found this session so far? Has it been useful? Just type in the text box yes or no. Type in the text box yes or no. Has this session been useful for you? Yes. Has this session been useful for you? Yes. Yes. Almost. Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Well, as a thank you for coming to this session today, I would like to give you a few bonuses, a few freebies. Firstly, as a bonus for attending today, you get a free CV review. You will get a detailed written review of your CV and a recommendation on keywords to use and format to use to get recruiters calling you within 24 hours. So you get a free CV review. I'll tell you a detailed step-by-step guide on what to do to get your CV get converting and getting recruiters calling you as soon as 24 hours. So that's worth £50 at least. Second thing, you get a free, no strings, one-to-one career coaching session with me. It's going to be online, not in person, but a good hour with me. Normally, that will be worth £100, but you're getting it no strings attached, absolutely free. During this session, you will get a clear, actionable plan on how to accelerate your career transition in 2016. You get a clear, actionable plan on how to accelerate your career transition in 2016. I guarantee you, you follow that plan, you get your goals, you achieve your goals in 2016. So to claim your bonus, simply send me an email with the title Free One-on-One Coaching from Webinar to tolu@careertransitioners.com. Send me an email to tolu@careertransitioners.com. Now, for all of you guys, okay, where is it? Now, our career coaching, career transitioners group coaching session is a 4-session within a month program within London, in person, that's going to transform your career transition and accelerate your search to get you to greater heights. Within a month, we're going to have 4 sessions. We're going to start in January, and 10th of January, and finish on the 31st of January. That's when the next session is. We have another session a couple of months from now, well, a couple of months from January, so in March, and it will do something quite similar. But for this session only, i.e. the session in January, what do you get? Well, firstly, you get a clear career goal. You get a clear career goal, an actionable career transition plan, an actionable career partner within a safe group. We match you with someone of like minds. Well, we're psychologists at the end of the day, so we know who will be a perfect match for you. So by the end of that session, we will make sure that you're matched with the most appropriate person. So we get your career accountability partner, we get you a really clear, actionable career transition plan, and we get to clarify your goals. This is going to be an amazing session that you can't afford to miss. The second session, the following week, we start to look at your CV. We break your CV down, we break your cover letters down, and we help you ensure that your CV is fit for purpose. It tells your story. We'll spend a good chunk of time on the CV and cover letter. And then we talk about how to practically tap into the hidden job market in your industry. So check this out. We would have met in session 1. I'm going to give you guys some homework. I'm going to get a good idea of the industry you all work in, and then I'm going to get my team to do some research into your chosen industry, and we come back in session 2 and we tell you exactly how to tap into the hidden job markets in your own industry. And then we give you an online presence blueprint. It's going to be a jam-packed session. Look at your career, your CV, cover letters, get you tapping into the hidden job market, and online presence blueprint. In session 3, we start to look at interview skills. We'll look at interview skills where we tailor your interview skills and help you get practice and feedback so you can supercharge your confidence so that you can ace any interview. And we're going to give you a clear list of skills you need to get the job you want. So we're already priming you for your transition. By the 3rd week, you are pretty much ready. You're ready to be unleashed. And by the 4th week, we're saying you might be getting some job offers by now, a list of potential employers in your industry, a new high converting CV that you would have redesigned, newfound confidence based on all the interview skills sessions that you've done, and a personalized job search strategy. Plus, we don't let you go just like that. We give you unlimited email and phone support right through your transition, basically till you get a new job. That's my word. That's our guarantee to you. Constant, anytime, telephone support and email support, right from the point you leave us to the point you get a new job. And that's at today's crazy discounts of what would normally be £397. For today and today only, one time only, crazy price of £198, which is, to be frank, less than Nando's with your friends. So let's imagine you go for Nando's once a week for 4 weeks. You're definitely going to be spending more than £50 a day. So that's the offer. So if you decide to get on the career group coaching program, well, you can get this offer by clicking on the link, by copying the link below and entering it into your browser. Copying the link below and entering it into your browser. careertransitioners.com/webinar-offer to get this offer for today. If you decide to go onto this offer, you get all of the freebies above, plus free skills gap analysis, where you get a comprehensive report with your current skills, your required skills, and a plan on how to bridge that gap. So we give you a written free skills gaps analysis. So it's a program that we often sell and goes for the retail price of £100. But I didn't put that here because it's a freebie for you guys that attend the session. Another thing we'll do for you, if you join the group coaching session, free LinkedIn review. We will get our team of experts to review your LinkedIn page and help you brand yourself and tell you how to tell your unique story that will get recruiters emailing you within days. I can't tell you how many emails I get from recruiters trying to get me a job, and I'm just not interested because I'm all for you guys, trying to get you guys into the next career, into the next job, into the next role. So free LinkedIn review for everybody who joins the career coaching session. Free interview skills training that will help you supercharge your confidence and teach you practical strategies on how to ace any interview. So beyond the group coaching interview skills feedback session, you get a free face-to-face interview skills training course that's at least £199 anywhere. I don't think you're going to get it less than £199 anywhere. And you get this all for free if you join the group coaching session. So imagine this. You get a training course that's worth more than the price that you're paying for the whole group coaching program. And also, you get a free personality report to see what hiring managers and recruiters see, plus strategies on how to turn your weakness into strengths during an interview and on your CV. So remember, we're psychologists as well. So we can give you a free personality report that tells you very clearly what the recruiting manager will see about you and how you can use that to your advantage to ensure that you can turn those weaknesses into strengths. So that's another freebie. And finally, you get another one-on-one session with me. You get a review of your clear actionable plans to help you accelerate your career. Now, isn't that amazing? So I'd like you guys to just pop into your chat box right now and tell me if this is the most amazing offer you've ever seen or not. And I'll ask you what will make it even better. To sign up for this group coaching program, copy the link below into your browser and drop me an email to let me know that you've signed up. And I will be very, very happy to welcome you aboard our community of growing career professionals, mid-career professionals. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. It's been a pleasure spending the last 90 minutes with you today, and I'm so glad that you'll be joining us. Make sure that you do this quickly because we can only take 10 people. Unfortunately, I choose not to do a group coaching session with any more than 10 people. That way, if it's more than 10, basically you're not able to get the personalized service that you require within the group. So we'll cap it at 10 and 10 only. And if you don't get onto this session, well, you might be able to get into the next one. So I hope to see you soon. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions? Well, in that case, it's been a pleasure. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.